All right. So once again, I'm Debbie Morrow here with my partner, Ray Schulzouth. Ray, say hi.
Hey guys, good morning.
So we run the Real Estate Agent Referral Network and Marketing Tips. And this is our Thursday morning virtual coffee. And Ray, I got a frog. Take it over.
Hey guys, hello and welcome. My name is Raymond Schulseth. I am just getting settled in a new place. We just moved, so I'm not in my usual environment at the moment. Thank you all for being here with us. If you're new, welcome. We do all sorts of different things here in this group. We have special guests. We run trainings. We talk about taboo subjects like NAR, but not today. Um, And we're just really trying to make an impact at the end of the day. We're blessed to have over 330,000 people in just one of our three groups that we operate. And we do this call to make an impact and to bring resources that can help agents go further, faster, and build a better business at the end of the day.
Excellent. Thank you, Ray. So having said that, a couple of little housekeeping things. If you have a camera, and you're not driving, so you're being safe, and you are appropriately clothed, please turn your camera on. We want to see your face. We don't care if you're eating breakfast. We don't care if you haven't done your hair, you haven't done your makeup. We don't care about any of that. We want to see your face because we are all about building relationships. We are going to do that in the second half of the call when we go into our breakout rooms. Um, the first half of the call is always a little bit of education. We bring in a speaker, and it's going to be a topic related to business. Doesn't always have to be specifically real estate. Today's speaker is very familiar with the real estate industry, but he's really a business coach, and so he helps us grow our business. And so, how do I know this? Because he's my personal business coach. He's been my business coach for about 6 years now, and he's hosting a 2-day workshop next week. So I wanted to have him come chat with you and kind of give you a little sneak peek about of the things that he's going to talk about and how you can really make an impact on your business. So, Casey, I promised them a secret formula in the email I sent out. So, he's writing that down. Secret formula. What is the secret formula? um, so, I'm actually just gonna turn the mic over to Casey, and I could say a million things, amazing things about him, but I think really what the thing that you should hear is that he's been my business coach for 6 years. That that in alone says something, right? I mean, you don't keep going back to someplace if you're not getting results. So, Casey, thank you for all you do, and thank you for being here this morning. And I'm turning the call over to you, buddy.
Awesome. I love that. So, welcome everybody to our hang on a sec. Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure I set my timer so that I'll stay on time this time. Because I just get so fired up and so excited when I get to come and talk to you guys. So, welcome to our 4-hour seminar on the intricacies of language written in the NAR settlement 2024. Let's begin. No. Joking. I know that is a way to not make an impact, right? But there is some lesson in this whole NAR thing that we'll just start out with. And we're going to talk today a little bit about creating impact in your network. And one of the things that is really important is that first off, we have to listen. And I will talk about listening with your eyeballs a little bit later. But being able to jump on a call like this and hear the feedback from people before the call ever starts gives you an insight of topics or things that people either want to hear about or that they don't want to hear about. So if this is before we even start, if you were going to go into the breakout rooms today and you're part of a settlement on NAR or whatever, and you want to talk about it, maybe this isn't the right environment for you to be able to do that because so many people on the call, including the host of the call, already talked about, we're sick and tired of hearing about it. right? So it's really about listening for different things that you can pick up to enhance your business, right? So with that being said, good morning, everybody. My name is Casey Eberhart. Ray and Debbie, thank you so much for having me come in and chat. I always love talking to this group. It's absolutely awesome. And what you guys have built and are building really creates massive impact throughout the entire real estate profession at large. And part of that is the Facebook groups and the community and the network that these two have built. And so today, what I thought we would talk about a little bit is, what would you do if you were just picked up today and dropped into a new city and you had to start over, right? Or Michael, just coming off of a medical issue, just getting back into the swing of it, right? Or I'm just going to go start my, line dancing business in a brand new city, right? Or I'm just going to reinvent myself in the mortgage game in a brand new city. So what we'll talk about today for just a few minutes are things that you can actually do, practical things that you can actually do. I'm a very practical type of guy in terms of, I'm not a bunch of theory. I'm not a bunch of kind of concepts that haven't been tested. So some of this might be renew, just maybe hearing it in a different way with you guys. I'm going to do the breakout rooms with you guys. So if there's anything that you have questions on, you can ask. I am doing an event next Wednesday and Thursday. You'll still be able to attend this call next Thursday and come in on day 2. It's a free event. I'd love to have you guys come. It's called Networking Riches 2024. It's really designed, as everything I do, to help you guys do 2 things, and only 2 things: save time and make more money. That's it. So if those 2 things appeal to you, come hang out with us for a couple of days. Debbie put the link in there. It'll take you 8 seconds to sign up. If you can't be there next week, go register for the event. Don't show up. You'll get an invite to the next one. We do them about once every 6 to 8 weeks. So cool. So save time and make more money. There's a concept, there's a couple of different formulas, and I like to break things down very simplistically. At the end of the day, guys, this game comes down to simply three things in our first formula: build the list, engage the list, market to the list. One of the things that is so easy to do, and it's also much easier not to do, is to build an email list. And at the end of the day, the reason that you see your teammates that are winning trophies and putting huge numbers on the board in your office, if that's not you, if you're not in a corner office, they are building a database. They are building an email list. They are building a network. So very simply, if we break that down into build the list, engage the list, market the list, building the email list becomes the number 1 priority above everything else. Because if you change brokerages, you're going to move from Coldwell Banker to Epic, or you're going to move from Better Homes to, a new firm, your database theoretically doesn't come with you. So
Did Kiera?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was already getting yelled at. That's okay. I love that. It's early enough in the morning. I'm only a cup and a half in on coffee. So it's critically important to start building your email list. Partly is because when you have that email list, now you can engage the list, which is sending out a at least weekly email to everyone. Because if I'm going to buy a home, I may not be ready today, but I might be ready in April. Whoever's in front of me in April is more likely going to get the gig. So in that weekly newsletter, that weekly email that comes out, you can talk about deals that you have going on in the pipeline. They do not have to be your deals, obviously, right? Share case studies, talk about what's going on in your city. Somebody from Delaware and said, "Hey, I'm all things Delaware." Well, what a great name for a weekly email that comes out. All things Delaware. You put a bunch of people on an email list that go into Delaware, and you focus on keeping them in the loop of what's going on in not only your world, but the world that they live in, which is a world in which they need and are craving resources, right? So the real estate agents and the brokers and the LOs that are out there really building an impact are the ones that are building a database. Then they are communicating with those database, right? And once they are communicating with their database, then the subtle art of marketing comes through that. And so you can do deal shares, resources. Hey, today we found a new veterinarian. A new veterinarian moved into town. Many of you are going to networking events, and you have people stat up all the time. Hey, it's my first time here. What a great way to introduce them to your community by highlighting them in a weekly newsletter or a weekly email. It is critically important in today's marketplace that you recognize and understand that your database is pretty much the only asset that you are building right now that is yours. Most of you are plugged into other agencies and other brokerage offices that are not yours, and they are controlling a lot of this content and a lot of the information, and quite frankly, a lot of the relationships. If I have one more agent call me and say, I just left agency X and they won't let me download my database. That's my database. Check the fine print. It ain't. Right? So this I'm spending a bit of time on this because it is so critically important. If you would like to know how critically important it is, Debbie Morrow, how important would you say building a database is to literally this business? Many of you are here. I heard it this morning. I'm here because I got your email and I wanted to jump on. How important would you say is building an email list?
So very important. I can't even tell you. Like, it's the number one thing that that Ray and I are doing is building the list.
It becomes more important than almost anything else because there is another formula that is used in many industries, and it goes something like this. He or she who has the marker makes the money. He or she who has the marker makes the money. And really, that's a very simplistic way of saying he or she who is in front of an audience is usually the one making the money. Now, that can mean a lot of different things. If you are hosting your own event, you're the one running the event, you're usually the one making the money. You certainly are the one that controls the influence and controls the different events inside of the event. Usually the person hosting the event has all the email addresses. This is why this becomes really valuable. So I saw Raymond put in there who's hosting an event. Easy thing for you guys to all do is to start a little event, because money goes to those who are prepared to handle headaches. Is it a headache to run an event like this? Yep. Right? Debbie's got a leak. Even with me, like I'm pretty dependable. But even last night, Debbie's like, okay, reminder, you're on tomorrow morning. And then she says, oh, you have 2 minutes to talk. I'm like, okay, cool, 2 minutes, awesome. She's like, no, 20. I'm like, oh, okay. She's having to take time out of her night last night with Chris to have a whole conversation with me via text. It's a hassle. It's a pain. I could get on here and say some crazy stuff, and it came and showed up and did all about topics that we didn't have any interest in talking about. It's a pain, but she has the email list. She has the influence. The reason that she and Raymond are building the Facebook group, number one, is to create impact and create an environment and a community for you guys to all exchange ideas, exchange information, exchange value, and ultimately trade business back and forth. But the subtext of that is they are building a massive database of all you guys in there so that they can help create impact for each of you in whatever part of the journey that you're in. Every one of you can do the same, no matter how big, how small. It's a couple of minutes of technology and then a focus and a shift in focus. So few things that you can do to help kind of build the network or deepen the network or engage the network. So I do have another formula. And we will talk extensively about it next week. We just don't have enough time. And I will write it. I'm going to put it in here so you guys can see it. and then I'll explain it. Okay, so it's N plus D times L equals massive sales. And next Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to really break down this pretty deeply, right? And this is what it stands for: your network plus your database. So the people that are in your phone plus your database times leverage equals massive sales. So if we start focusing on those three things, everything that we do is focused on one of these things. Are we building the network? Are we building the database? Or are we adding leverage into there? Leverage can be things like your newsletter. They can be things like doing YouTube videos. There's a whole host of those things. So we're going to talk about those next week as well. So I want to get in here and give you guys some practical things that you can do, like starting today. Number one, and we'll do this exercise live in person next week. And I will tell you that those of you that show up next week and do this exercise will absolutely generate results out of this 5-minute exercise. Very simple. Every day, Monday through Friday, we'll just do it 20 days a week, 20 days a month, is simply text everybody you can in your phone. Spend 5 minutes doing outbound text messages. Not trying to sell, not trying to say what you got coming up on the market, not trying to say what open house you have, not selling what rates you have, just simply touch base. Think of the people in your phone as people that you are opening a social bank account with. You walk into the bank, together you open an account. If you try to withdraw and take out of that account, you're going to go in the red. So we want to deposit into that. Hey, hope you're having a great day, Raymond. What's going on? I like to ask the question, what's got you excited these days? I like asking that because then Raymond's going to tell me about his new book or his new coaching client or how Epic's growing or whatever. And then he's probably going to say, well, Case, that's what got me excited. What's got you excited? Well, the house on 123 Mockingbird Lane is a house I just listed. I'm super stoked because these buyers, these sellers, you could do whatever and engage in conversation. Number two is be the resource. It is fair to say that y'all have some competition. And the good news is that we're about to drop rates. And as soon as rates drop, we're going to have a flood of stuff come on the marketplace. Everybody's going to be running around. Right now, the entire marketplace is scared. We haven't been buying houses. We haven't been selling houses. We hear about NAR in the news, but we don't really know what it means. People are scared. We're out of the buying habit. As a culture, we don't know really what we're doing. Only houses being sold right now are probate and people that are having to move, divorce, changing jobs, location. Just wait till we drop rates. I just heard this morning, they're now considering between 1.5 and 2 percentage points by January. That will flood the market. People are scared. You guys, you have to be the resource. When you step into an event or you step into or onto a stage where you have your audience in front of you, be the resource. You have to take away the scary. You have to take away the scary. I have a person that works for me who's just buying a new house right now. I'm getting calls from him every single day, panicky because his agent is not walking him through each and every step of the way. So he's scared. So he's like phonetic. You guys have to be the resource. You have to take away the scary for people. You have to tell people what you do. I'm sort of shocked when I go to networking events and I stand up and I hear realtor after realtor after realtor or LO after LO after LO stand up and nobody says any deals they're working on. Hey, today I've got a house at blah, blah, blah lane. You guys should check it out. Even if it's not your house, pick one out of the MLS and go start promoting it. Because now when you are in front of people in that same room talking about listing their house or helping them buy, one of the things you can say is, listen, you guys hear me all the time promote these houses and promote what deals I've got. I'm going to promote your house in that mix. It's a way to add extra additional value to our customers, right? Look for and listen with your eyeballs for ways to help, right? If somebody says, hey, I just moved to Dayton, Ohio, and I don't really know what to do. Well, maybe you have, if you are in Ohio, maybe you have a list of vendors that you've already put together, right? Somebody says, oh, I just can't figure out how to get my camera on in Zoom. Well, how fast would it be for you if somebody wrote that on social media? How fast would it be to actually go to Google, go to YouTube, find a video on how to turn your camera on Zoom, and send it to the person? Those little things prove that you're a resource, and it doesn't need to be at scale. You guys are in a hand-to-hand combat type deal because you want somebody to jump on your email list. Social media, kind of pretty simple. Show people what you do. Again, constantly amazed. I'll tell you where the opportunity is. The opportunity for you guys is when you go to brokers opens, or you go to open houses, or you go to walk a house with a client. Turn your camera on, even if we don't see your face, and walk through the house and tell us what you like about it and what you don't like about it. Very simple. You have to show people what you do. Everybody can say they're a realtor. That means we've passed the test and paid a couple of fees. Not everybody knows that we're good. Just because we've been in the business 38 years, you know what we were using 38 years ago? Fax machines and pencils. The 25-year-olds today are not using fax machine and pencils. So it is no longer just an asset for you to be in the business for 40 years unless you still can take away the scary and still help the current customer, Live events just comes down to building the email list, gang. Having people be able to jump on, and maybe you say, hey, I've got this free set of resources, or hey, I like to tell you what's going on in your farm or in your area. Most of you are farming particular areas, and you know everything that's going on in the area. Who's hanging Christmas lights? Who's doing lawn care? You know, where's the yard sale that's going on, or the giant estate sale? Help those customers that are on your email list. Help those customers on that email list of yours know what's going on in the local community. That way, when they are ready to buy or they are ready to list, the first person they think of is you. If you're in front of the audience when they're ready to buy, you have a much higher likelihood of making the sale, signing the paper, closing the deal, doing the listing appointment. So I hope that was helpful. I wanted to give you guys a few things that you could actually do. Next Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to kind of dive deeper into sort of all of those topics. And I'm a very practical guy. So you will come out of there doing exercises, and you will come out with results from that. So with that, you guys, I hope that was helpful. Debbie and Raymond, thank you so much for having me come in and chat. It's always fun. It's always fun. So I'm stoked for the breakout zones. Debbie will put the link for the event in the chat again, and I'd love to have you guys. I'd love to have you guys come and join us. It'll be fun. I think it's networkingrichesinvite.com. Courtney, I would ask. Courtney does have a great question. How would you get email addresses from Facebook? Number one, I'd own a Facebook group where people have to give me their email address coming into the Facebook group. Hint, hint. That's what you all did. And or B, whatever you're giving away, it's very simple. Just put a post. Hey, I'm doing this thing where I'm telling people what's going on in Dayton. I don't know why I'm on Dayton, Ohio. I've never even been there. Dayton, Ohio. If you want me to send you an email, just let me know. Boom.
Excellent. So Casey, do you just a couple of minutes, the VIP, so people know for next week what to expect. General admission is free. You can come hang out with Casey for 2 days for free. There is a VIP upgrade that you can do that gets you the recordings from the workshop. It gets you a couple of extra sessions, things like that are very valuable.
It gives you the recordings. It gives you all the slides. It gives you 2 bonus sessions where we're going to talk about building out your technology stack and then how to fill that email list. And then we have a couple of surprises that we're going to add into the VIP package that we have not told anybody yet. But
okay, so the excuse me, the thing that I was going to point out about that is that I don't know if you knew, but Christina gave me a code to save money. So I'm giving it away. I don't care.
I did not know that literally until you texted me that this morning, and I was like, oh, okay, somebody's being autonomous. Okay.
Yeah, so the VIP is usually $50. And if you, I mean,
it's 97. You'll
Yes.
bring it down to 50.
That's right. The VIP is normally $97. If you use code Debbie50, then that makes the total price $50 instead of $97. So that is an option. The link to register, networkingrichesinvite.com, is will get you the general admission for free, and that code Debbie50 will get you will reduce the cup price to $50. So that's all we're going to say about that. Casey, thank you so much for being here and giving us a little sneak peek. We are going to do some breakout rooms, and so Casey, give us a icebreaker question for our first breakout room.
Favorite job ever?
Oh, fun. Okay, you guys, what was your favorite job ever? I'm gonna go ahead and open these rooms. It looks like everybody has 3 to 4 people in it. So here we go. All right, you guys, I want to know who thinks they were in the breakout room that had the most interesting first job or most interesting. Okay, Mitch, tell us what it was.
Maury shared that being a mom is her favorite job. And
Okay.
I love that because we're in a society right now that is pushing against that. And I find it genuine and admirable that somebody is willing to own that being a mom is the best job, because I do recognize that being a dad and a grandfather now is probably one of my most favorite things. And to hear somebody articulate it in today's day and time, I think was fantastic. So thank you for sharing with that, Mari.
Excellent, excellent. All right, who else? Most interesting job ever. Nobody wants to share what it was?
You said favorite job.
Oh, did I say favorite? Okay, favorite job. You guys, everybody's so quiet. Like, come on, tell me what your most favorite job was. Who had the room that had the most interesting favorite job ever?
Gary, I don't know, we'll say it was the most interesting, but I believe that the census was, at the end of the day, everyone likes to serve and help people. And if that can be like poison ivy around the world, and we all try to help each other, what a world that would be.
Excellent. Love that. Love that. Okay, you guys, I wasn't in a breakout room, and I kind of had an aha moment. You know, I did have a really interesting first job. My very first real job was I had my own street corner in Moreno Valley, California, and I held a sign for a home builder that was building New England style homes in California. And I dressed as a pilgrim on Saturdays and Sundays. I know. I did that for like 6 hours a day on Saturdays and Sundays while I was in high school. So it made me think, wow, I've actually been in the real estate industry since I was 17.
Were you dancing on the street corner listening to your Walkman?
Well, I know, but I did have a boom box out there, not a Walkman, but a boom box. Yeah. Uh-huh. And we were just really coming into rechargeable batteries back then. And so my dad thought that the having to buy a new set of batteries every weekend because I ran them out, that was, anyhow. All right, you guys, that was for my most interesting job. Casey, want to give us a second breakout room question? We got time for one more breakout room.
Yeah, best concert you've ever been to.
Oh, okay. Best concert you have ever been to, and how does it relate to real estate? That's really cool.
Because when you're at a concert, you follow the same premise of real estate: location, location, location. So where
All right. Love it. Love it. Okay, you guys, we're gonna do that again. I'm going to mix up these breakout rooms. Let's see, recreate. Do that. All right, here we go. All right, you guys, we are all back. I muted myself. All right, you guys, we are all back. I wanted to thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. Thank you, Casey, for sharing those little tidbits of gold nuggets that you dropped for us. And yes, we have a hard stop also. We're almost done. We're out of here. I just wanted to remind everyone to drop their contact information in the chat if you have not already done so. I did put in there just a few seconds ago, one more time, my contact information, and then the link to register for Casey's event next Wednesday and Thursday, networkingrichesinvite.com, and the VIP code to reduce that cost to $50. So I hope to see you guys all there after we have coffee on Thursday morning. But on Wednesday, I hope to see everyone there. And actually it works perfect because Casey's workshop is going to start right when our coffee on Thursday morning finishes. And so I know some of you have been to it in the past. We have 3 minutes. Kim Jones, unmute yourself and give us a 30-second review of Casey's. 30 seconds is quick. Go.
It was absolutely fantastic. I am so appreciative for the invite that got me there. And I obtained fantastic, valuable information. And the most valuable was the phone call that I got to have with Casey afterwards. And he got me to do something that I had been putting off for quite some time.
Awesome.
And so that accountability was really terrific.
Excellent. Okay, you guys, look, did you hear that? If you go to Networking Riches, you will have the opportunity to book a one-on-one coaching session with Casey. So make sure you book your go to Networking Riches, register. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, thank you guys. Don't forget to download the chat. Who is on their phone and needs Danny's help? You know, Danny has been here with us a really, really long time, since almost the beginning of these calls. And he volunteered quickly to start sending out the chat to anyone who is on their phone. And he gets to build his email list by doing so because, you know, so he understands how to play this game. You guys, who needs him? It's time to pipe up. Who needs Danny to send out the chat notes to him?